Hi everyone, it's Shana here. How are you today? We're covering the anatomy of self-esteem in this series, and today we're looking at self-concept, internally authored understanding of who one is. So what we think about ourselves, pretty much. I'm going to be reading through some notes of my Anatomy of Self-Esteem course that is available to you in my free community, the Empower Us League, and I'll drop the link below for that. For you who are interested, I work in restoring inherent self-worth, confidence, self-esteem to women, and we're covering this anatomy of self-esteem, as I mentioned. We're going to go and have a look at what this self-concept is all about. All right, let's get going. So self-concept is the internally authored understanding of who you are. Psychologically, this self governs identity formation. It answers the question, who am I? I think we all ask ourselves that at some stage in life, isn't it? It includes traits, preferences, values, roles, strengths, limitations, tendencies, and personal narratives that form a coherent sense of self. So all of these things come into play in this self, and that's a lot, yeah? That's a lot. Values, roles, strengths, limitations. Wow, that's your identity right there, isn't it? And I'm curious how many of you are aware of the different roles that you play. Because especially as women, we have multiple roles. We are never ending in our roles. I feel sometimes it's non-stop. It can be. But the beauty of my work and what we do in the community is have a look into this, and once we have our self-esteem and our self-worth, we're able to set boundaries with people, and we no longer have to take on those roles where we don't need to. And we can assign support or help, or we can delegate, that sort of thing. We don't have to put it all on ourselves anymore. So I'm looking forward to going through this with you. Let's keep going. Self-concept describes the self. It does not evaluate or price it. It's distinct from value, self-estimation, feelings, a temporary internal state, and behavior, actions and outcomes. So self-concept is different from your value, your feelings, your behavior. Okay. This self is about clarity and coherence, not approval or confidence. Let that sit for a minute. The self is about clarity of who you are, coherence of who you are. It's not about approval of who you are or confidence in who you are. See how they're very different? Let's see how this self is commonly shaped or distorted. The self-concept develops through interaction with family, culture, language, and roles. Shaping influences include, tell me how many you get out of these. Labels assigned in childhood. for example, the smart one, the difficult one, the helper. Yeah. I relate to them, and I've certainly heard a lot of other parents sort of give those labels to their children, and it's not in a bad way, a negative way. It's just a way of describing their identity, their role. Yeah, their role. Let's see what else. Cultural or social expectations around gender, success, or personality. That's certainly true, isn't it? Especially gender, especially women have a place, don't they? They have a place in culture, in the household. They have a place. They have a place often in the workplace as well. Feedback that consistently defined identity from the outside. Oh, that's interesting. So when you got feedback, it was a defined identity from the outside. So it's other people labeling you with, wow, with your role, with your label. Yeah, we spoke about this in the other videos a little bit. It's all about upbringing. It's all about perception. It's all how the brain has been wired throughout our lifetime, throughout experience. And it has developed these opinions of itself, beliefs about itself. So interesting. And we go a lot deeper into this in the community. So if this is ringing any bells, jump into the community and come and join us. It's the Empower Sleep community, school community, and we go through these modules as a cohort if you want, or you can just, it's all free, it's there for you. You can just have a look and pace it out yourself. There's a workbook, it's got the whole lot for you to go through and think about these things, to get on top of these things and heal these things so that you can literally restore your self-esteem. That's what this is all about. The next one is survival roles adopted to maintain belonging or safety. So I won't go into too much about this, but, obviously a lot of people see a lot of shit, basically, and a lot of people go through a lot of shit growing up, and they've had to do what they've had to do to survive, to keep the peace, to calm the energy, to calm the people around them. So a lot of these things can impact our self-concept, our self-esteem. What else have we got? We've got distortions often arise as adaptations. Let's have a look. So over-identifying with roles or achievements. So we're putting our identity into what we do, what we have, what we've achieved or accumulated. Defining oneself primarily through others' perceptions. Okay. Treating identity as fixed to avoid uncertainty. Treating identity as fixed to avoid uncertainty. So that's saying I'm this and I don't sway from it. I'm this, but I can't be that. That's really interesting, and that's containing yourself, isn't it? Oppressing yourself, really. But that's your safety zone. So we all have a safety zone. And one of the things we learn in the community is neuro-nurturing, and that's about taking small steps and nurturing our nervous system so that we can come into safety and comfort there, security there, and then we can move on to another little step. Avoiding self-definition to reduce risk of rejection. Yeah? So that is kind of people pleasing in a way, making sure you're pleasing everyone. So you're not going to define yourself in case you offend or you don't belong with them or that sort of thing. It's covering your bases, isn't it? But that's not helping you. Being vague is not helping you. These distortions reflect attempts to stabilize identity under pressure. Yeah, stabilize identity under pressure. And that's true. We do feel pressured to be someone, to know who we are. We look at everyone else and they seem, so self-aware, so confident in who they are. They know what they're doing, what they want, they have their character in place. They personify something on the outside, but oftentimes they're struggling with all of this as well. So don't fall down the comparison trap, yeah, because everyone is in the same boat in some way. Let's see what else we can go through. All right, self-concept is commonly undermined by patterns such as confusing worth with identity. If this is who I am, this is what I'm worth. Oh, wow, that hits home, doesn't it? Confusing worth with identity. Yeah, okay. So if your identity is attached to your role of, I don't know, your job, and you tie your self-worth to that, well, what happens when you don't have that job anymore? Yeah? Wow, okay. What's next? Over-reliance on external labels or diagnosis to define the self. Let's read that again. Over-reliance on external labels or diagnosis to define the self. Over-reliance on a diagnosis to define. Oh, yeah. So we're looking outside of ourselves, basically. Looking for someone else to tell us who we are. Does that sound right to you? Don't worry, everyone. We're all guilty of it. It sounds so simple and so silly, but we're all doing it. Do you agree? All right, let's see. Fear that self-definition will limit options or invite judgment. So we touched on that a little before. Fear of missing out, basically. Fear of containing ourselves, not pleasing everybody. I'm so guilty of this. I'll admit that. Absolutely. Very much so, especially in the field of being in business. You've got to define who you are, who you serve, what you do, that sort of thing. And wow, the amount of times you go over it and over it, yeah, this sounds good, and then you'll just hear something else, another word, another way of putting it, another phrase. Oh, that's what I am. That's what I am, and I want what I want to do and who I want to work with, and you just go round and round and round, and it can send you loopy. So yeah, you need to work at that. What else have we got? Internal rules that identity must be consistent, impressive, or approved. So this is saying, well, I can't flow with my development. I can't change. I always have to be that one labeled thing. And you always have to be approved of, or you have to be impressing someone. Is that how you really want to live life? Jumping through hoops for people that you don't even know half the time, you don't even like most of the time. So why are we doing it? Chronic self-comparison that reshapes identity around others. Oh my God. Who can relate to this? Leave a comment. Leave a comment. I would love to know, genuinely, because your feedback really helps me do more videos on the things that you're going through. Chronic self-comparison that reshapes identity around others. Who do you want me to be? Yeah? Who do you like, and I will be that person for you. We've all done that. Particularly with a partner. And I suppose that all stems from having to mold ourselves to be who our caregivers wanted us to be. And again, that comes down to being safe or to get the attention we needed. Yeah, to feel significant, to feel heard, whatever the case was. There's many, 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 many things that go into making up us. And we're going to talk about so much of it. It's going to be amazing in the next videos. We're going to talk about so much on this channel. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I think that's about all that we'll go through on this, because again, all of this comes into play, and all of my work is about restoring your internal authority so that you have self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence. You are empowered, and you can operate from a sovereign internal authority instead of being dependent on others to deem you valuable or important, worthwhile, whatever the case is. That's what we're all about in my community. We uplift everyone. I am going to read a little card for us. I was going to do it at the start, I forgot. But I've got these cards now. These are Because I Love Myself from Lucy Cavendish, and little cards, and I'm going to read out the saying. You might keep it top of mind for the rest of the day. Let's have a look. Tomorrow is bright. I allow myself to feel optimistic about my future. The journey of my life rolls out before me, a mysterious discovery of co-created adventure. That sounds amazing. That sounds absolutely amazing. Co-created adventure. I love that. That means you and the people you come across, you're all creating life together. Usually you don't consciously know it. That's how the universe works, my loves. And it's really nice. So drop in the comments your thoughts, what sounds, like you in all that we talked about. Also in the comments, you'll see the link for the school in Paris League community. I would love to see you there. And look, I think self-concept is one of the biggest ones, because it literally is who we are, your identity. Who are you? And this is the age-old question. And this, we've all heard of midlife crisis, or we've all heard of finding our purpose and things like that. This is it. This is it. Your identity is who you are. And we do identity work in the community. All of this we work on. Yeah. I really look forward to speaking with you again. That's it for this video, and I'll see you next time. Okay?